they possibly considered her family and had a lot of trust.
Police say a woman stole more than $1 million from a Central Kentucky business she worked for. How they say she did it.
Door-to-door contractors may stop by your home this time of year offering home improvements. But what experts say you need to do first before agreeing to a deal.
And Commonwealth Stadium opens its doors for Pokemon hunters as the popular game takes over the field.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. She spent years as the bookkeeper of a Jessamine County business, but tonight police say a woman spent much of that time stealing from it.
They say that Joyce Minton embezzled more than $1 million from that one business, and tonight both she and a second employee face charges in the case. Caitlin Setner has the details in our top story at 6.
The owner of the business and his family actually work the business day to day.
But after things just weren't adding up, owners of Clark Tool and Die called police. The company's bookkeeper placed in handcuffs, accused of embezzling more than $1 million in an 11-year period.
The office manager was in charge of keeping the books. The office manager was in charge of writing the checks. And that's why, what we found is that she was able to hide it for so long.
Joyce Minton is charged with theft by failure to make a required disposition of property.
As you can imagine, it's a pretty lengthy thing to go back through the books, go back through the checks that were written, figure out what checks were legitimately written, which ones were cashed, and that the money is unaccounted for.
State police says the investigation is far from over, and it isn't clear yet exactly how much money was stolen.
Every day that our investigator is working on this case, he is finding more money, more checks that have been cashed, and we're well over $1 million currently. And I talked to him this morning, and there's potential that's going to continue to rise.
The 65-year-old, along with her son, Aaron Warren, who also worked for the company, is also charged for allegedly using company funds to purchase an engine for a race car. We stopped by her house to check for a comment, but the home is gated.
The way that this case is played out, it sounds like she was a great family friend. They possibly considered her family and had a lot of trust.
Trooper Robert Purdy recommends if you have a business, always have a second set of eyes look over bookkeeping. In Jessamine County, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Minton and Warren have bonded out of jail and will be arraigned next Thursday. Owners of Clark Tool and Die did not want to talk on camera.
Tonight, we are learning more about the case against a Powell County woman accused of killing her ex-boyfriend. Police arrested Melissa Roberts yesterday after a grand jury indicted her for murder. Roberts claims the shooting was self-defense. She made her first court appearance today, and Hillary Thornton talked to Roberts' daughters.
I love Steve, I really did, but I hated the way he acted.
Melissa Roberts' teenage daughters watching inside the courtroom as their mother, now charged with murder, stood in tears in front of the judge. Investigators say back in April, she shot and killed her estranged boyfriend, Stephen Strange, after he came into her home. Just weeks after an emergency protection order she filed against Strange was dismissed. Initially, Roberts not charged in the shooting, claiming self-defense. However, a grand jury deciding there was enough evidence to indict the mother of 4. Yesterday from jail, Roberts explaining she often endured abuse.
I didn't tell him no, I didn't defy him because I knew what would happen.
Those claims Roberts made from jail are claims that her teenage daughters say they witnessed firsthand.
I watched him beat her and I seen blood and everything.
Something this ex-girlfriend of Strange says she experienced during their 5 years in a relationship.
At times he was very lovable, but most of the time he was just very abusive. The last big problem we had, he held a knife to my throat, and I knew then that if I didn't get away, that I would be the one to die.
She says when she heard Strange had been killed, she was sad for his children, but not necessarily surprised.
He didn't deserve to die, but at the same time, she doesn't deserve to be beat on or put in jail for murder.
She says it is difficult now watching Roberts in custody, standing before a judge where a not guilty plea was entered on her behalf. In Powell County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Strange's family says they know the two had a difficult relationship and do not hold any hateful feelings towards Roberts, but they want justice to be served. New tonight, a grand jury has indicted a Lexington man accused of killing his girlfriend. Police say William Pomeroy shot Amy Kogel at their home on Pinckney Drive in May. This week, the grand jury indicted Pomeroy on murder and evidence tampering charges. Police say Pomeroy told them he and Kogel were arguing over money when she pulled a gun on him. Pomeroy then claims he turned the gun around and shot her. He's being held without bond. Pomeroy will be arraigned next Thursday.
Tonight, Lexington police need your help finding a man they think was behind 2 robberies today. Police released a surveillance picture showing the suspect. This afternoon, they identified him as 35-year-old Kelly Cox. They say he walked up to a clerk at the Fork Bank on West New Circle Road and demanded money. Police say he then jumped into a black Nissan Sentra with a red rim tire and drove off. They think the same man robbed a Marathon gas station on North Broadway overnight. In that case, police say the robber had a knife, demanded money, then ran off. Police have obtained an arrest warrant for Cox. Lexington police have arrested a man they say tried to practice law without a license. They say James Gormley pretended to be an attorney for a shoplifting suspect. Police say the suspect, Jennifer Dunlap, was stopped for shoplifting at the Kroger store on Bryan Station Road. And while being interviewed in the store's security office, police say Dunlap asked that Gormley, who she claimed was her attorney, be present. They say Gormley showed up and identified himself as Dunlap's attorney. But police say he is not licensed in Kentucky. They say he once practiced law in Georgetown but was disbarred in 1999 after a money laundering conspiracy.
Tonight, some showers and storms have popped up across parts of the Bluegrass. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking those for us along with the steamy temperatures. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Amber. Indeed, some of those storms going gangbusters into parts of the Bluegrass region right now. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning, at least on a local scale. Defender radar network started to light up with some scattered stuff, and these have been kind of pulsing up through the course of the afternoon. We started seeing this action a couple of hours ago, and it is now ramping up to the west of Lexington, north side of town. That may throw a little thunder and lightning into the Masterson Station area very shortly. Kentucky Horse Park up toward Marshall Park on southern parts of Georgetown, back over into sections of Woodford County. Versailles, worst of it is just off to our west and southwest. Lawrenceburg, we've been getting the brunt of this strong thunderstorm. Ton of lightning coming from the skies with this. Folks traveling along 62 or 127 through Lawrenceburg, dealing with a very heavy rain. Some of that extends a little farther to the south, over towards Salvisa and Nonsuch, like saying that. Newcastle, Owenton, a little bit of lighter rains here with those thunderstorms falling apart across the Ohio River counties. Another strong thunderstorm has developed now between Lebanon and Campbellsville. That'll work its way into Casey County over the next little bit and into northern parts of Adair County. The rest of the region will continue to focus on a front that is out there over the next couple of days, and it's a forecast that what you see and feel is what you're going to be getting for the next few days. We'll track it with a new hour by hour in just a couple minutes.
The sights and sounds of home improvement projects are common this time of year. Contractors often stop by homes to drum up business. Some are trustworthy, but others are just looking to take your money without doing any work. WKYT's Miranda Combs has tips for you to make a good judgment as Scam Week continues.
From time to time, every year, most of us get a knock on the door.
This happens every summer.
From someone wanting to fix something you may not have known was broken. A roof, a gutter, maybe a driveway. Some are legit, but others...
It's the ones that show up and say, I have material left over in the back of my truck to pave driveways. We were working on your neighbor's block over. They'll use tactics like that to convince you that you need to use them too.
Heather Cleary with the Lexington Better Business Bureau knows the playbooks by heart. She's been hearing the same stories for years, so she knows when trouble comes knocking.
They want all the money up front, or most of it up front. They want it in cash, or they want you to make the check out to somebody else, or something odd like that before they've done anything for you.
Another sign you need to slow down your decision-making process. Do they have documentation of who they are? And do they have a contract for you to sign? If there's nothing in writing, there's nothing to back up who they are.
Anybody who doesn't want to give you one just wants a handshake and a smile. That doesn't quite hit it anymore. You do need some assurance.
But she says the good ones are out there too. Some contractors are slow in the summer and may stop by to offer a deal. Just don't take it without checking them out first.
And keep in mind, not every industry needs licensing in home improvement, mainly just heating and air, plumbing, and electricity. A lot of around-the-house work, there's no license required in Kentucky, guys.
But you still need some kind of way for them to prove that they're legitimate? Some documentation, right?
Documentation or certification for a lot of those different types of work around the house are needed as well.
All right, do your homework. Miranda, thank you. Well, Pokemon have taken over Commonwealth Stadium, and today UK invited you onto the field to try and catch them all. The stadium opened its gates late this afternoon for fans of Pokemon Go to play the popular game. Officer Don flew over the field in Sky First, getting this look at all the players. Garrett Weimer joins us now live with the very latest. Hi, Garrett.
Well, first of all, it's not every day that you can get on the field here at Commonwealth Stadium, let alone to play Pokemon. But today is that day. A lot of people have had trouble at first getting the app to load because of a problem with the game's servers, but that hasn't kept people from coming and having fun. And I should mention that it's working better for a lot of people now, and that includes myself. But at the halfway mark, I'm told 1,100 people had shown up at the stadium, and they're still coming right now. Even folks who couldn't get the game to work say they had fun being on the field here. Folks I talked to say they just love exploring with the game.
We've really gotten to explore around our hometown too, seen a lot of different places we wouldn't think people would go. So we've seen a lot more people out and about.
Yeah, the stadium is open until 6:30 here, so about 20 minutes left to go. People have come and gone, but the whole time there's been a pretty sizable group here, and I can't wait to see what the final numbers are as far as how many people actually showed up here this afternoon. Live at Commonwealth Stadium, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thanks so much. A lot of folks having a lot of fun. UK's Associate Athletics Director says they came up with the idea after seeing other places host similar events.
A Central Kentucky restaurant showing its appreciation for state police today with a free gift. That's next.
And then how a Lexington girl used a lemonade stand to give back to her community today. A Franklin County pizza restaurant came up with a special way to say thanks to Kentucky State Police troopers today.
Domino's in Frankfort brought free pizza to the State Police Central Lab. Restaurant managers say they wanted the troopers to know that they're grateful for all their hard work.
I just think the police feel they're under attack, and I think they have to worry every time they turn a corner that someone's not there with ill intent. So I definitely want them to know there are people in the community who have their back and support them 100% the way they support us.
Domino's is also bringing free pizza to State Police Post 12 in Frankfort for second and third shift troopers tonight.
A little girl in Lexington spent part of the day raising money to help animals. Parker Guckenberger set up a lemonade stand this afternoon on Cassidy Avenue in the Chevy Chase neighborhood. She got some help from her family and friends. Parker says she did this to help the Lexington Humane Society.
Well, we're selling pink lemonade, yellow lemonade, Rice Krispie treats, and lemon cakes. So we're just all gonna sell all of them, and we're gonna donate half of the money to the Humane Society.
How could you not stop and buy something from that cute little table? Parker planned to sell lemonade until 6 o'clock tonight. Her family says this is the second year she's raised money for the Humane Society.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Well, thunderstorms, as expected, stealing the show from the heat today. The heat was normal, a lot of upper 80s into most of central and eastern Kentucky. Let's look outside, though, and track some of the storms. We've got one developing into Lexington again. And that's a live look at that storm that is cruising to the south out of Scott County into the northern parts of Fayette County. Out at the airport, 85 degrees. That's going to drop in a hurry with the rain that is moving on back into town. And what we're looking at on your Defender radar network, those little showers and thunderstorms diving in from northwest to southeast, and we've gotten a lot of heavy rain here out of this cell into Franklin County and Anderson County. Now the thunderstorm developing between Lexington and Georgetown continues to ramp up, and it's a slow mover. Boy, right on top of the Fayette and Scott County line, we can get a tremendous amount of rain in a very short amount of time. So around the Horse Park, Ironworks Pike, and into southern parts of Scott County, keep a close eye on any creek and stream. These thunderstorms aren't moving very quickly, and they're putting down a lot of rain. That thunderstorm that had a ton of lightning with it on top of Lawrenceburg has weakened just a little bit. Worst of it is now to the southeast of you, over toward the Salvisa area and getting into southern parts of Woodford County. And that extends a little farther to the north as well, toward the Lawrenceburg area. And that storm is finally beginning to wind down here into Franklin County along Interstate 64. It's been nonstop action for the past hour and change. A little bit of light rain coming down the Ohio River as well. Strong storm is now east of Campbellsville. Folks into Liberty, Casey County, look to your northwest, getting a nice little light show. Lebanon, Marion County, a lot of that is now just to our south. But over the past 15 minutes, we've noticed a little uptick in the lightning on top of the Mansville area. That'll work into the northern part of Adair County as well. Nothing to be overly concerned about in terms of severe weather, but a lot of heavy rain. Clouds continue to stream in from northwest to southeast. Here's the boundary. Heat again across the Ohio Valley, and no show today. It's out across the Plain States. That's where the worst of it is going to be. Yes, it's going to make a run at us over the next few days, but you know what? That happens every summer. 90-ish tomorrow with a chance for a shower or a thunderstorm once again. Here's a breakdown of the next 3 days. Steamy tomorrow with a storm or two. If you get a thunderstorm, you get more clouds. Those temperatures held in check. If I'm picking one day to where I think the heat can really kick in, that would be Friday. 90 to 95 with a heat index that may flirt with 100. But you got to get rid of the storms. And a storm or two will likely be back with us for the day on Saturday. One thing to keep in mind, when we show you hour-by-hour forecasts here and that future radar, it's based on a computer model. They do terrible with thunderstorms. And if they can't pick out where the thunderstorms are, you know what they're going to do with the temperatures? They're going to be terrible with those as well. So we got to keep an eye on that situation over the next few days. But again, on Friday, if we stay dry and keep a thunderstorm away, which is a possibility, but you notice this model says we get a thunderstorm into the afternoon, we can hit the low 90s into many areas. Heat index is going to be up there because it's just so darn humid nonetheless. Late weekend, early next week, we'll see the thunderstorm threat ramping back up as the heat heads back to the west.
At least the old forecast is pretty consistent, right?
It really is. Right now in Lexington, slow-moving storm north side of town, putting down a lot of rain.
All right, Chris, thank you.
For Kentucky's Drew Barker, the pressure will be on this fall.
Always is. On the starting quarterback, Tim Couch, the Wildcat All-American, talks about what he'll face. And for UK linebacker Courtney Love, his days on the scout team will be over this fall. Stay with us. Sports is next. One player who will be getting on the field and hopeful of making an immediate difference for the Wildcats this season is linebacker Courtney Love. Love transferred in from Nebraska. Now, he had redshirted at Nebraska, then played one season, then had to sit out last season after transferring to Kentucky. Finally, he'll be off the scout team and on the field on game day.
I played on the scout team at Nebraska. I had a good time there. Played on the scout team here, sitting out last season, which, you know, it was tough, but you know, I knew what my role was to the team. I knew what I had to do. You know, during that time, I couldn't waste any time. I had to make every minute count. You know, and really, you know, show guys, you know, what I took from Nebraska. I had to be. We want to be an accountable team. We want to be a disciplined team. You know, we've been working really hard, and we've been really trying to, you know, create a brotherhood.
The pressure will be on quarterback Drew Barker when the Cats take the field in the fall. Mark Stoops named Barker his starter back in the spring. Earlier this week, UK All-American Tim Couch called him the key to the season.
That's the nature of the position. You know, I think any time, especially at this level of college football, it's, you know, if you don't have a big-time quarterback, you really can't win football games. And, you know, those guys who kind of get you over the hump, you know, when it's a close game, they make the big plays down the stretch and win football games for you. And I think we have that guy. I think Drew can be that guy. He's just finally getting his opportunity to go out and be able to do it each and every Saturday.
And we are counting down the days to the UK football season. It's down to 45 now. That is the same number worn by Marty Moore, All-American punter Glenn Pakalak, who averaged 45 yards a kick in 2002. It's also the longest catch by Jeff Bedette last season against Florida. And Austin McGinnis kicked a 45-yarder in that same game, the last point scored in UK's 14-9 loss to the Gators. Just go to WKYT.com to see more of our countdown. The basketball program at South Florida is reportedly under investigation for academic fraud. Assistant coach Oliver Antigua has resigned. Oliver is the brother of head coach Orlando Antigua. Orlando left the staff of John Calipari in 2014 for his first head coaching job. And an attorney for former Southern Miss coach Donnie Tyndall says the NCAA's Committee on Infractions missed its deadline to respond to the coach's appeal in the case. He is asking that any response from the committee should now be denied and previous penalties against Tyndall dropped. Tyndall faces a 10-year show cause penalty. And Jeff Gordon is coming out of retirement to drive for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Gordon will be behind the wheel for this weekend's Brickyard 400 and at Pocono. Jr. is still sidelined with concussion-like symptoms. They will be racing up at Indy in NASCAR this weekend. Sam Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Rob. A final check of your First Alert forecast is next.
Then on the CBS Evening News, from Happy Days to Pretty Woman, he brought smiles to generations. A look back at the director Gary Marshall and his career. It's that time of summer when folks in one area might be seeing a huge storm, a lot of rain, others nothing.
Eastern Kentucky, you got sunshine. Lexington, oh, we got thunder and lightning kicking up. Look at that on the north side of town. Masterson Station up toward Georgetown, that is rolling to the south and southeast very slowly, putting down some heavy rain. There's a live look at that storm from our Skycam where we are dry, at least for now.
So it can be intense in places.
In places, that's right. Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here at 11.